Attraction isn't tied to looks, social status, or even charm. It's all about understanding the right approach. Many men miss the mark because they pursue too eagerly instead of creating a magnetic pull. You might think she's out of reach or that her lack of interest is set in stone. But here's the reality. Women don't always know what they're truly drawn to until it's shown to them. Yes, even the one leaving your texts unanswered or keeping you in the friend zone can feel compelled toward you, if you know how to change the dynamic. This isn't about playing mind games or using manipulation. It's about grasping the essence of attraction. The problem is, most men misunderstand women completely. They come off as desperate, try too hard, or give up too easily. None of that works. What draws women in are men who value themselves, men who don't plead for attention or constantly try to prove their worth. Here's the kicker. Attraction isn't about convincing her that you're the best choice. It's about creating a scenario where she realizes she doesn't want to lose you. That pivotal shift doesn't occur when you're chasing her or bending over backward for her approval. It happens when you step into your own power and become someone she simply can't ignore, even when she initially seems disinterested. So what's the key? It begins with transforming how you think. Stop fixating on how she feels about you and start investing in your own growth, both internally and externally. Women are naturally drawn to qualities like confidence, strength, and a touch of mystery. The moment you treat her like the ultimate prize, you've already lost. But when you live your life knowing you're the prize, everything changes. This isn't about wearing a mask or pretending to be someone else. It's about positioning yourself as someone who naturally commands her attention. Ready to stop chasing and start attracting? Let's dive deeper. Number 1. Trying too hard to gain a woman's approval is a surefire way to lose her interest. Many men mistakenly believe they need to carefully choose their words, behave a certain way, or avoid stepping on toes. This kind of approach screams insecurity. Here's the reality. When you put too much stock in her opinion, you're giving away your power. And when she holds all the power, attraction fades. Women are instinctively drawn to men who remain composed and unaffected. Why? Because confidence is undeniably captivating. By prioritizing her thoughts over your own, you send the message that you value her more than yourself, a dynamic that isn't attractive. It signals weakness. To shift this dynamic, stop obsessing over her perspective and focus on elevating yourself. You'll be amazed at how quickly her view of you changes when you're no longer chasing her validation. This isn't about being cold or dismissive. It's about emotionally detaching from the need for her approval. Take dating as an example. If she laughs at your jokes, great. If she doesn't, don't overanalyze. Stay grounded enough that her reactions, or lack thereof, don't dictate your mood. Consider texting as another example. If she suddenly stops replying, the average guy might overthink, send follow-ups, or even question if he did something wrong. Instead, send your message and move forward with your day. If she responds hours later with, "Sorry, I was busy," a confident reply like, "No worries, I figured you'd get back when you could," shifts the tone. Then either redirect the conversation or wrap it up on your terms. This sends a powerful message. While her company is enjoyable, your happiness isn't tied to her attention. This subtle shift in how you present yourself can leave her intrigued, wondering why you're so composed and self-assured. When you stop letting her opinion dictate your actions, you transform into someone who isn't easily impressed. Women find this type of confidence irresistible. Instead of bending over backward to win her favor, hold your ground. You might be surprised to see her putting in the effort to win you. Number 2. To attract any woman, even one who seems uninterested, you need to redirect your focus from trying to win her over to investing in yourself. Many men make the mistake of pouring their energy into impressing someone else rather than improving their own worth. Here's a simple truth. If you don't value yourself first, she won't either. Building your value is about becoming the type of man who is naturally captivating. This isn't about pretending to be confident or striving for perfection. It's about evolving mentally, physically, and emotionally to the point where you exude attraction effortlessly. When you prioritize your growth, you eliminate the need to chase. Women pick up on that. Too often, men are fixated on what she wants instead of asking themselves, what do I bring to the table? Are you progressing in your career or just coasting? Do you have hobbies and passions, or does your world revolve around her? Are you taking care of your body or just talking about hitting the gym? High-value men focus on improving every aspect of their lives, and that natural growth sparks genuine interest. Here's how it looks in practice. Say you're interested in a woman who seems distant. Instead of bombarding her with texts or pushing for plans, you redirect that energy. Start hitting the gym consistently, eat healthier, refine your wardrobe, and develop new skills. Maybe learn a language or explore a creative hobby like photography. Over time, your efforts show. You might post a picture of your progress or casually mention your new passion. Suddenly, she notices. She's curious, asking, "You've been busy lately, haven't you? What's new?" Her curiosity isn't accidental. By focusing on your growth, you've shown her that your life is rich and fulfilling, with or without her. This subtle shift flips the dynamic. Now she's drawn to you. When you invest in yourself, you create an undeniable pull. She starts to see you as someone worth her time and attention, not because you convinced her, but because your energy speaks for itself. Stop chasing approval. Stop explaining your worth. Focus on becoming the best version of you, and watch how effortlessly the right kind of attention follows. Number 3, pursuing a woman relentlessly is one of the quickest ways to push her away. Consider how you feel when someone constantly hovers around you, vying for your attention. It's overwhelming, suffocating, and even irritating. Women experience the same thing when men chase after them. The more you run after her, the clearer it becomes that you lack other options, which instantly diminishes attraction. Here's the key. Stop chasing and start cultivating mystery. Women are naturally drawn to what they can't easily understand. If you're always available, always initiating contact, or overly eager to spend time together, the dynamic loses its thrill. She already knows exactly where you stand, and the excitement quickly fades. Creating mystery isn't about playing games or being deceptive. It's about maintaining just enough distance to keep her intrigued. Don't overshare every thought or action. For example, if she asks how your day went, resist the urge to give a minute-by-minute rundown. Instead, say something like, "It was an interesting day. Maybe I'll tell you about it sometime." That's all. Now you've left her wondering and thinking about you. Another aspect of mystery involves having a life that's full and fulfilling on its own. Spend time with friends, dive into hobbies, and stay busy. When she sees that your world doesn't revolve around her, it sparks curiosity. What's he doing? Who's he with? Suddenly, you're no longer predictable, and she starts paying closer attention. Mystery works because it opens the door for imagination. When you're not constantly explaining yourself or seeking her approval, she fills in the blanks herself, often in your favor. Her thoughts turn to you because there's an alluring sense of the unknown. Remember, attraction isn't solely about what's visible or spoken. It's also about the emotions stirred in the spaces between. By stepping back, you allow her to lean in, triggering a pull that feels natural and irresistible. Women are drawn to men who are confident and self-assured, men who don't feel the need to prove their worth constantly. So let go of the need to chase. Instead, focus on creating an air of intrigue. Let her seek the opportunity to understand you. That's how you truly stand apart. Number 4. Sometimes the most impactful thing you can say is nothing at all. Silence is an underrated tool in building attraction. It's not just about what you say, it's about when and how you choose to stay quiet. Unfortunately, many men overlook this, filling every conversational pause with explanations, endless chatter, or unnecessary messages. Over-communication doesn't project confidence, it conveys desperation. Women are highly attuned to a man's comfort level with silence. If you're uneasy in the quiet moments, it signals insecurity. However, if you can hold space without feeling the need to fill it, you project a calm confidence that is undeniably attractive. Silence communicates patience and self-assurance, traits that are universally appealing. For example, if she takes her time replying to your text, Resist the urge to double text or ask if something's wrong. Let the silence do the work. When you don't react immediately, she begins to wonder about your thoughts and feelings. This subtle shift triggers her curiosity, making her think about you instead of the other way around. Silence is especially powerful in moments of disagreement or tension. Rather than rushing to explain or defend yourself, let her words linger. A brief pause not only diffuses potential conflict, but also forces her to consider her own statements. It demonstrates that you're not easily flustered and can handle situations with composure. Beyond conversation, the art of silence extends to presence. You don't need to constantly entertain her or fill every moment with activity. A quiet shared moment where neither of you feels the need to speak can foster a deep sense of connection and intimacy. These instances leave a lasting impression because they're rare and meaningful. Mastering silence shows that you're at ease with yourself. You're not seeking her validation or scrambling to fill perceived gaps. Instead, you're confident enough to let the moment breathe. This kind of poise is magnetic. It subtly communicates that you're in control of both the situation and your own emotions. In the end, silence is more than the absence of words. It's a deliberate choice that exudes strength and triggers intrigue. When you use it wisely, it creates space for her curiosity to grow, leaving her wanting to know more about you. Number 5. Many men unknowingly sabotage attraction by revealing too much about themselves too soon. They share their goals, intentions, and even their life stories within the first few exchanges, thinking this transparency will build a connection. Unfortunately, this approach often has the opposite effect. It extinguishes curiosity. When there's nothing left to discover, there's no intrigue, and without intrigue, interest fades. Let's get one thing clear. Being an open book doesn't make you more appealing. It makes you predictable. Women are naturally intrigued by what they can't completely figure out. If you lay everything out, you leave no space for her to wonder or imagine, which takes the excitement out of getting to know you. For instance, if you're the type to constantly ask, "What are you doing?" or narrate every detail of your day, you're inadvertently closing the door on intrigue. Instead of updating her on every move, create a sense of mystery. If she asks about your weekend plans, don't give her a detailed rundown. A casual, "I've got some interesting things lined up. Let's see how it goes," leaves her curious and engaged. Curiosity is a powerful motivator. Think about the stories that captivate you. It's the unanswered questions and the unexpected twists that keep you hooked. Attraction follows the same principle. When you maintain an air of unpredictability, she'll naturally want to invest more effort in understanding you. However, fostering curiosity doesn't mean you should become evasive or manipulative. The goal is to strike a balance between being genuine and leaving room for her imagination. You don't need to fabricate an air of mystery, simply refrain from oversharing or trying to prove yourself through unnecessary details. When you create this dynamic, something powerful happens. Instead of you constantly pondering over her thoughts, she starts pondering yours. She becomes invested in discovering the layers you've purposefully left unspoken. That's the essence of keeping her intrigued and coming back for more. So remember, mystery is your ally. Don't offer every detail on a silver platter. Leave a little for her to uncover. By sparking her curiosity, you become someone she wants to figure out, ensuring her interest remains alive and growing. Number 6. Creating emotional tension is a game changer in building attraction. Most men mistakenly believe that being overly polite, agreeable, or safe is the way to win a woman's interest. But here's the truth. These behaviors make you predictable, and predictability breeds indifference. Women are drawn to men who make them feel something: curiosity, excitement, and even a little intrigue. That's where emotional tension comes into play. Emotional tension is the unspoken energy that keeps her thinking about you, wondering about your intentions and craving your attention. It's not about being dramatic or manipulative. Instead, it's about engaging her on a deeper level that goes beyond surface conversations. How do you create this tension? By breaking away from the norm and pushing boundaries in a playful, confident manner. Here's an example. If she shares an opinion, don't just agree for the sake of agreement. Confidently share your perspective, even if it's different. Tease her lightly about something she says or does, but always with a smile and good intentions. These small moments of friction mixed with playfulness keep the interaction dynamic and exciting. Another essential element of emotional tension is pacing. Many men rush to fill silences or immediately resolve any tension in conversations, but this approach robs the moment of its power. When there's a pause, let it linger. When you tease her, don't immediately explain yourself. That slight hesitation gives her space to process, wonder, and feel. It's in this uncertainty that attraction often grows. It's also critical to engage a full spectrum of emotions. Too many men focus solely on making her laugh or keeping the mood light. But true attraction isn't just about happiness. It's about depth. Surprise her with a thoughtful observation, challenge her in a friendly debate, or express genuine curiosity about her passions. When you make her feel a range of emotions, she won't just remember the fun moments, you'll leave a lasting impression. Building emotional tension requires practice and a willingness to take risks, but it's worth it. A woman who feels emotionally connected to you won't be able to ignore you, even when you're not around. So step outside the predictable box, spark emotions, and create those unforgettable moments that set you apart. Next up, set boundaries and stick to them. Number 7, setting boundaries is one of the most important, yet often overlooked aspects of attraction. It's not just about drawing lines in the sand, it's about defining your self-respect, values, and priorities. Without boundaries, you risk losing yourself in the pursuit of someone else's approval, which is a sure way to diminish both respect and attraction. Boundaries are powerful because they signal that you know your worth. They show that you value your time, energy, and emotions, and that you won't allow anyone to diminish them. Women are naturally drawn to men who have a strong sense of self because it signals stability and maturity. Here's how to master this. Understand what boundaries mean. Boundaries are not about being inflexible or controlling. They're about ensuring that your needs and values are respected. When you set boundaries, you're essentially saying, I respect myself enough to stand up for what I believe in. This communicates confidence and self-assurance. Say yes to yourself. Boundaries often require saying no to others, but more importantly, they're about saying yes to your own well-being. For instance, if you're asked to cancel plans with your friends to accommodate her last-minute request, it's okay to say no. Respecting your commitments and priorities shows that your life doesn't revolve around her, and that's attractive. Enforce your boundaries. The key to effective boundaries is consistency. If someone repeatedly disrespects your limits, calmly and respectfully address it. For example, if she cancels plans often, say, I value spending time with you, but I also value my time. Let's only plan things when we're both sure we can commit. This isn't about anger or confrontation. It's about calmly asserting your worth. Don't fear the outcome. Setting boundaries means accepting that some people might not like them, and that's okay. Boundaries act as filters, ensuring that only people who respect you remain in your life. Ironically, the act of being willing to lose someone makes you more desirable because it shows you're confident and self-reliant. Boundaries are attractive. When you establish boundaries, you show that you're not afraid to challenge bad behavior, walk away from disrespect, or prioritize your needs. This makes you stand out as a man who values himself, and that's incredibly appealing. Next up, show, don't tell, your confidence. Number 8, stop trying to be her perfect guy. One of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is trying to be the perfect guy for a woman. This typically comes from a place of insecurity or desperation, thinking that if they just get everything right, they'll win her over. But let me make one thing clear. Trying to be perfect is a huge turnoff. The problem with perfection is that it's boring. Perfection doesn't leave any room for mystery, flaws, or personality. It's easy to become someone you think a woman wants, but doing so means you're not showing her your real self. Women don't fall for a perfect persona. They fall for authenticity, confidence, and the feeling of real connection. Why trying to be perfect doesn't work? It's unattainable. Perfection is subjective. What one woman sees as perfect, another might not appreciate. The more you try to fit someone else's ideal, the more you lose yourself in the process. She wants to know you, not a polished, idealized version of you. It's too predictable. When you try too hard to be perfect, you stop taking risks. You don't challenge her or create any emotional tension, which is what keeps attraction alive. Perfection is predictable, and predictability is the opposite of what makes someone interesting. It creates pressure. When you position yourself as the perfect guy, you create pressure on both sides. She'll start to feel like she needs to live up to your standards, and the pressure can cause distance. In contrast, when you're just yourself, flaws and all, you give her the freedom to do the same. Be your real, imperfect self. Instead of trying to be the perfect guy, focus on being the best version of yourself, the man who is confident, secure, and authentic. Don't mold yourself to fit an ideal. Be someone who embraces who he is, flaws and all. Women are attracted to men who own their imperfections. You don't have to be flawless. Just be real and confident in who you are. Have a sense of humor about themselves. Being able to laugh at yourself shows self-assurance. Are comfortable in their own skin. You don't need to seek approval because you're already confident in your worth. Embrace imperfection. The truth is, perfection doesn't spark desire. Authenticity does. When you stop trying to be the perfect guy, you open the door to a genuine connection. Instead of trying to meet unrealistic expectations, focus on letting your true self shine through. When she sees the real you, she'll be drawn to your confidence and the fact that you don't need to pretend to be anything else. And that's when the magic happens. So stop chasing the idea of perfection. Show her who you are and let her be captivated by the man you've already become. Number 9, be willing to walk away. One of the most powerful traits a man can possess in relationships is the willingness to walk away when things aren't aligning with his values, boundaries, or needs. It's a paradox. By being willing to leave, you actually become more attractive and desirable. Let me explain why. The power of choice. When you are willing to walk away, you show that you have options. You're not desperate or dependent on someone else for validation. This signals confidence and self-respect, two things that are incredibly appealing to women. People are drawn to those who aren't afraid to make hard choices, even if it means ending a relationship that isn't fulfilling. Why it works: you set a standard for how you want to be treated. If a woman knows you're willing to walk away when your standards aren't met, it forces her to treat you with respect. She knows you won't tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or poor behavior. You are showing her that you value yourself and your time. It increases your value. When you don't chase after her validation or approval, it makes you more mysterious and valuable. Women are naturally drawn to men who are independent, emotionally secure, and not afraid to walk away if they're not getting what they need from the relationship. It makes you seem like someone worth fighting for. You avoid settling for less. Walking away prevents you from settling for a relationship that doesn't meet your needs or align with your values. Settling for someone who doesn't appreciate you, respect your boundaries, or treat you the way you deserve to be treated will only lead to frustration and resentment. By walking away, you open yourself up to better possibilities. When to walk away. When you're being disrespected, if a woman is consistently disrespecting you, not honoring your boundaries or treating you poorly, it's time to walk away. You teach people how to treat you based on what you tolerate. When there's a lack of effort, if you feel like you're the only one putting effort into the relationship and it's not being reciprocated, it's a clear sign. Relationships should be a two-way street. If she's not making the effort, why should you? When your values don't align, if you're in a relationship where your values or goals are misaligned and it's leading to constant conflict, walking away may be the healthiest choice. You don't want to waste time in a relationship that isn't built on common ground. Walking away doesn't mean giving up. It's important to note that walking away doesn't mean giving up too easily. It's about knowing when to draw the line. Walking away is often a sign of strength, not weakness. It means that you're not willing to settle for anything less than what you deserve. If the relationship is meant to be, she will respect your decision. And if not, you'll be free to find something that aligns with your values and needs. By being willing to walk away, you show that you prioritize yourself and your happiness. This mindset can make you more attractive because you're not desperate, you're not settling, and you're in control of your own life. That's a powerful position to be in. Number 10, attraction is about becoming the man she wants to chase. Let's wrap this up with the most important truth you need to understand about attraction. It's not about chasing her, it's about becoming the man she wants to chase. If you want to truly attract a woman, your value isn't determined by how much she's interested in you, but by how you carry yourself, the standards you set, and the confidence you embody. This is where so many men get it wrong. They believe that attracting a woman is about trying to please her, earn her approval, or constantly seek her attention. But here's the truth. The moment you stop prioritizing her over your own self-respect, everything changes. Stop chasing, start living. If you feel like you're working overtime to earn her attention, the problem isn't her, it's you. That's right. It's not about her playing hard to get or being too high maintenance. It's about you failing to realize your own worth. Stop making her the prize. The real prize is becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to beg for anyone's time or affection. This mindset shift is transformative. When you focus on becoming your best self, confident, self-assured, and unwavering in your values, attraction follows naturally. You stop chasing, and as a result, she will chase you. Women are drawn to men who stand strong in their identity, who don't desperately seek validation, and who know their worth. It's all about confidence. Attraction is rooted in self-respect. When you become the man who doesn't chase or compromise on his values, you naturally become more attractive. Women are not drawn to desperate men. They are drawn to those who are secure in who they are, who live on their own terms, and who treat themselves with the respect they deserve. So start focusing on yourself. Become the kind of man who isn't afraid to walk away, who isn't afraid to stand up for his values and boundaries. Stop worrying about chasing her and start worrying about becoming the man who doesn't need to chase anyone. When you do that, women will notice. Not because you're begging for their attention, but because you're the kind of man who is worth chasing. The bottom line, attraction is about becoming the man who doesn't need anyone's approval. It's about being confident in who you are, not trying to be perfect, but being the best version of yourself. When you stop chasing and start living with purpose and self-respect, you'll naturally attract the right kind of woman who will appreciate and value you for exactly who you are. Thanks for watching, and remember, this is Mastering Life.